Chapter 1937. Seeing that Mrs. Richards stood blankly on the spot, the hospital toll collector asked, "Are you still paying? If you don't pay, we may ask you to discharge the two patients." Mrs. Richard immediately took out another bank card, chose one, handed it to the other party, and said, "Try this again." The toll collector nodded and took it and swiped it. After Mrs. Richard entered the password, he shook his head and said, "This is also frozen." "Then try this one again." Mrs. Richard passed all of her cards in succession, but the reminder that none of the cards was working. This made Mrs. Richard's whole body very desperate. Just when she was at a loss, a phone call came and she hurriedly connected, only to hear the other person say, "Hello madam, I am calling to inform you about the enterprises, villas, vehicles, antique paintings, etc. under your name. All real estate has been sealed by the court. Please repay Mr. Fury's investment as soon as possible, otherwise, all your assets will enter the auction process." Mrs. Richard cried and said, You are trying to force me to death." The other party has an official attitude and said, "Sorry, we are also acting in accordance with the regulations. The amount of debt claimed by your creditors has far exceeded your assets, so if you do not repay the debt in time, we will take action against you." Mrs. Richard choked and said, "My son and grandson are now in hospital. I need to pay for the hospitalization, right? Sorry, you are now a negative equity holder, and if you have money, you also need to repay Mr. Fury first." "You bullshit!" Mrs. Richard shouted angrily, "What is the difference between you and drinking human blood? Sorry, it is justified to pay off debts." Mrs. Richard roared, "God! Your mother, go to hell with her. Bullying an old lady like me, you can't die with peace." Having said that, Mrs. Richard immediately hung up the phone angrily. "Here," the toll collector said embarrassingly, "Old lady, are you still paying the fee? If you don't pay, please get out of the way first, because the people behind have to pay the fee." Mrs. Richard said with a black face, "Stop paying. I can't afford to eat, so I have to pay a bullshit." After that, she immediately called Fury with her mobile phone. Although she didn't know what was going on with Fury, she still had to try and dialed his phone. Unexpectedly, the call was quickly connected. After Fury answered the phone, he asked in a bad tone, "Old lady, what's the matter with you?" Mrs. Richard hurriedly said flatteringly, "Oh, Mr. Fury, that's it, Mr. Fury, why did I hear that you were going to divest suddenly? Didn't you say that you want to cooperate for a long time? You suddenly withdraw like this. But what did we do? Is there any misunderstanding in this?"